Well, hey everybody, John Ritlin here, and the Derbinator. Yes, with an AEW Fyter Fest review.
Yes.
It's a free show, by the way, so you guys really had no excuse to not watch unless A, you were working, or B,
you had other things to do.
Or you're just a cynic. I will admit that not everything was perfect on the show, and we'll get into it, but I was entertained quite a bit by it.
And that's the key.
Yeah, that's the thing, is like, maybe it's just because the product's new, but still.
They've got some growing pains, and you can tell.
Oh god, do they ever.
Especially since they grew, they learned to run before they could walk.
Yes. But then, so for the commentary we have Excalibur, Golden Boy, and Logan from WSO Logan on Twitter. And he was only on the pre-show, and my god, this guy was the fucking highlight.
He was like Pat McAfee.
Just absolutely fucking wonderful. He was just so great there. The bikini models at the stage were so lifelike. Seriously, I mean, they were distracted by all the shiny objects up there. They looked like Kelly wrestles. Anyway, that's gonna give me a bunch of hate. So we get Private Party, which is Isaiah Kennedy and Mark Quinn.
When did he come to the ring?
With his tag team partner, Chris. God damn it, weren't you paying attention?
No.
Okay. And then SCU represented by Kazarian and Scorpio Sky. We got to meet SCU.
Yes, we did.
Very nice guys.
I remember that too.
Yes, and the best friends. Chucky.
Like I've never had.
I know it's a song reference, but best friends Trent Beretta and Chucky T.
Yes. And
whoever wins this gets to go to All Out to be in a match to earn a first round bye in the tag team tournament that they're going to be doing. If you followed that, congratulations. So this was quite a fun match, though. Mark Quinn kept his sunglasses on for quite a while during this.
Yeah, it's impressive.
And the demolition...
I've taken one boot to the face and my glasses went flying.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Flying Luchador. Sonico. But it was kind of cool, and the Demolition Man inspired, gimmick, as you point out.
Yeah, he was like, Phoenix!
I mean, that was just absolutely great. And of course, soon we're gonna get Mark Quinn versus. Remember what you said? Mark Quinn versus.
Fuck, I forgot.
Mark sooner or later.
Yeah, Mark sooner or later.
It's okay. It's all right. It was a long show.
We don't write these things.
We really don't. Even if I write this stuff on the notes, we really just go free-forming. But
because I'm free. Free-forming.
Isn't it what ABC Family is now? Freeform.
Yeah.
Okay. We then get a good pace.
They didn't rename themselves to Harry Potter Marathon Channel.
I mean, that's basically what they are. I mean, so we get a good pace throughout the match. Good exchanges. Yeah. Beautiful shooting star by Mark Quinn. Mark Quinn was the star of this match for the most part.
Oh yeah.
Beautiful cutter for 2. But we had, the best friends end up hitting strong 0, 1, 2, 3.
Yep.
That was a good pace, though. I really enjoyed that.
I won that prediction.
We ended up tying.
We ended up writing down predictions before the show to see who would win and who would lose.
And we tied at 5 each.
I got like the first half of the event.
Yeah. You got most of the stuff right. I mean, I think I only got one match that we disagreed on. Mm-hmm. But it was good stuff. I enjoyed the match. It was a good pace. Even if the whole thing of the stipulation was convoluted.
Yep.
The pace worked well together. Or everybody worked well together. And then we had these guys. The lights go out. The best friends are in the ring, and the lights go out forever and forever.
And this is a sticking point because I noticed this on Double or Nothing. If you're going to be doing a lights out spot, you need to make sure that it's fast. Because if you have the lights out for 15, 20, 30 seconds, it looks bad. If you want to make it look like they've just appeared out of thin air, you gotta be quicker. Have them underneath the ring. Have them with like a little cue or something like that. Some kind of like LED light underneath the ring that will shine green the second that they know that they need to get out of there.
Right. That happens. I'm willing to let it slide a little bit, but with how much money they have and with the minds they have behind it, they already need to be better. I know it's only their second show, but you're right.
This is an example of the growing pains of becoming a broadcast. You've got to make this faster.
And who appears as the Dark Order? That were, I guess, the Super Smash Brothers, or the Smash Brothers. And then They got a bunch of guys in hoods, and then the lights go out again for an inordinate amount of time.
Yes.
And then they show up.
No.
The guys show up eventually?
Yeah. No, didn't they just disappear?
Well, no, they were on the screen.
Yeah.
And then they showed up.
Right.
And then the lights went out again, and then they disappeared.
Yeah, that's what we were on the second disappear now.
Oh, okay. I mean, it's just
Yeah.
Sorry, it reminded me of the final sacrifice with the cult members in the hood.
You gotta play it right. If you can't, find a different way to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can't just have lights out, lights on, take 30 seconds.
It cuts into the show, and if you're trying to sell people, even though this is a free show, you're trying to sell people to tune in on Bleacher Report Live for the whole thing, or whatever format they use.
For all intents and purposes, that should have been a 10-second spot.
And again, things could get better, but it's like the lighting cues were actually better at Double or Nothing than they were here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the reasons were, but they got to do better than that.
Yeah.
But then we get the Bucks and Omega mocking, Fyre Fest?
Fire Festival.
Fire Festival.
Yes.
With the budgetary stuff being cut.
Yeah, instead of an actual pool, it's a kiddie pool. Blink 182's not there.
Yeah, and
then it's got the crappy little tents from Fire Festival.
And the bikini models replaced by the mannequins, and you couldn't tell the difference because the mannequins were more lifelike. Look, I'm sorry, I'm sure the women are lovely, but they just looked lost. What?
Well, they were only supposed to be out there for a little bit anyway.
One of us has got to be the asshole on this show.
We already know who that is. It's me.
Yeah, right. Wait, what? Look, I get what they were doing. It's fine. I'm sure they're lovely women, but just they look distracted by shiny objects. It was cool though how they were mocking the whole thing. And then we get Leva Bates and Peter pitching a tent Avalon, as I called him.
Meanwhile, back on the plot.
A lot of shushing. So much shushing.
I'm sure they'll figure it out eventually.
Yeah, this wasn't very good. I like Leva Bates. I don't know Peter Avalon. They're supposed to be the Librarians.
This initial segment did kind of drag on too long.
Yes.
Oh.
Though Peter Avalon tossing the tent in the pool is pretty
Yeah, but it's on the pre-show, so it's negligible, but it's also still a little too long.
Leva Bates and Peter, like, talking about reading books or whatever, and it, of course, Logan...
Peter's being the hype man for it.
And Logan saying, like, they have a library here in Daytona Beach. Logan was the best goddamn part of this, and the crowd's chanting, "We can't read, we can't." The crowd is putting in on this. We then get Leva Bates versus, or Leva Bates, however, Leva, I think, versus Allie. This was...
Yeah.
Of course, you had at one point where Leva kept doing the shushing thing, and then Allie kept, jerking her finger and fingering out the situation and everything. There was a lot of innuendo that I was probably reading into this match that wasn't intentional.
Probably.
I was reading every innuendo into this, wasn't I?
Yeah, you were.
I may have been eyeballing this match for the wrong reasons.
I like books.
And of course, the crowd's chanting "Hooked on Phonics," reading Rainbow.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Bunch of fucking smarks.
There were some cool submissions. I did like at one point where Leva was pulling Allie's hair and trying to submit her in the match also.
Yeah. But anyway.
But, it was cool. This went on a bit long. There were too many near falls, but at least the women got featured. And a big old super kick. Allie wins 1, 2, 3.
Like, if we were to make a drinking game out of near falls for this event,
I think
he wouldn't be drinking, but I'd be dead.
You'd be dead by the second hour, for God's sakes. We then get
I'm on a second bottle of scotch, John. I don't want to do this anymore.
Just imagine you doing that and be like, well, goddamn it, Chris, you don't have to drive anywhere. Yeah. And then Omega trying, with a drum.
If I was dead, I would not need to be driving.
You'd still be better than half the drivers in Washington.
Yeah.
But then Omega, of course, at one point, the Blink 182 reference that we had, he was trying to drum up interest. That is the last bad pun that I will come up with on this show.
For this segment.
Yes, for this segment. Bless you now. So, yeah, we get... and then we get Michael Nakazawa. Michael Naka. Nakazawa! Justin Roberts is going to have a hernia. He's going to have all the hernias saying that. But yeah, it's against...
Justin Roberts?
Doing the announcing, yeah. And Alex Jabali, who I guess is actually the CEO of CEO Gaming.
And apparently had a match with Michael Nakazawa.
Which...
But tell me about Alex Jabroni.
I don't know anything about the guy.
Exactly.
That's...
but he at least knows some moves.
And he played his role...
Like listing lazily to the left.
He played his role that would have worked for JFK. Anyway, so he played well with that. We then got a controller to the head.
Yeah.
We got a kiddie pool. The holy shit chant for Michael Nakazawa falling in the kiddie pool.
No, that was when he was getting drowned.
That's what it was.
Drowned in a kiddie pool. What a terrible way to go. Anyway,
Whitney Houston, no. Moving on. Dreamcast controller. What? Dreamcast controller.
GameCube controllers.
Was it GameCube controller?
No, there was
also?
a couple controllers, but
There
one
were
of them.
And then, of course, the cord around the neck. Good Benoit impression. Spear through the table.
Yep.
A Lego bump, or whatever the fuck those things were. Mm-hmm. And Nakazawa gets a roll-up after Allie tries to roll him up. This match was more entertaining than it had any right to be.
It was comedic wrestling done right.
It was.
When you have someone who is not a wrestler in the ring with a wrestler, this went better than it had any right to be.
Yeah, now, I mean, granted, I will not revisit this, but it was entertaining. We then get JR joining the team, so Logan leaves because he was only doing the pre-show, so it's Excalibur, who I like. I think Excalibur has a wealth of knowledge. I don't care about the mask.
When you're a luchador, you're a luchador. And being a commentator, you don't need to see their faces anyway.
This is true. I'm going to say this much, JR needs to be used sparingly on commentary.
Yeah. Let him take a back seat when TV production starts.
Because, my God. And now look, everybody my God. Everybody ages. Everybody has issues. I know that he's been through a lot.
Everybody hurts all the time.
Well, he lost his wife. I'm not trying to make fun of that.
I was not.
I know you weren't, but I've been accused of it, so that was a good reference though by REM. Yeah. I like JR, but just like you said, he needs to take a back seat.
Yes.
Use him for big matches like Cody, Dustin, Jericho, Omega. Use him for a couple big matches.
Make sure that like him arriving is an event.
And my thing is, this reminds me of how they use Gordon solely in late WCW or late '89 WCW.
I feel now like AEW is at a point where they promised a lot, but there are a few things that they haven't been able to deliver on. Like JR, he's supposed to be a producer. He's supposed to be in the back, and I don't think they really have a play-by-play commentator.
They don't. Now, I'll tell you right now, Golden Boy and Excalibur did better. Alex Marvez was not horrible. He did whisper a little bit too much. But Marvez should not be featured again. That doesn't mean that he was the worst thing in the world. Mm-hmm. But then we get Christopher Daniels versus Cima.
Yes, this is to open up.
Open up the main show.
Yes.
Kind of based on how they opened up Double or Nothing, except it isn't SCU versus Strong Hearts. It was just Daniels versus Cima. This is enjoyable. It was a good pace. Vet versus vet, sort of, even though Cima's younger. I mean, Daniels is almost 50 and still able to move around that well. Still wrestles great, even on indie shows.
Yeah.
It was good stuff. It looked like Daniels was going to win, but nope. We get a Meteora, 1, 2, 3, and Cima wins.
Yeah, and I got that prediction.
You did. I shockingly got that one also. I thought I picked Daniels, and I realized I didn't. But then we get to the women's match. Riho Yuka Sakazaki, the most adorable wrestler on the face of the goddamn planet.
Yep. And Nyla Rose.
And Aubrey. Referee Aubrey.
Oh, Brie Elite. Oh, Brie Elite.
And, of course, JR at one point says this might be quick, so don't go making a sandwich during this. Look, JR, being badly...
In other words, don't skip out on the women's match, because this isn't the early 2000s anymore.
I read differently into that.
I know.
You wouldn't have expected me to make that joke.
What?
The joke about the sandwiches. You're just torpedoing that, aren't you? I agree with you, though. Yeah, this is actually women's wrestling done right. It's not WWE hasn't, but I will say there were too many near falls with this. This went on a bit too long.
Yeah.
But there was a cool leg drop by Nyla off the ropes. Really cool swanton.
Yeah.
Nyla did well. There were a lot of near falls. Riho did well, and Yuka did well. Rio ends up winning, shockingly rolling up Nyla, which surprised me.
Yeah, I figured Nyla was gonna win this one. After having the whole article written about her and all that. You could have had her, but after the match, Nyla destroys them.
Nyla destroys them, and then, she gets taken out of the ring by both, and then we get a bit of a brief, thing, Yuka, trying to go to Riho being upset, or okay, we get that.
Yep.
Is what it is, whatever. Maybe we're gonna get a match that Yuka looked upset, Yuka must be protected at all costs. But, okay, cool, it was fine. I thought a few too many near falls, but it was what it was. Kip Sabian on commentary. I didn't know he was British.
The more you know.
He will face the winner of this upcoming 4-way. MJF comes out to cut a promo, and sweet Jesus!
Oh, God!
Damn it!
MJF, you are the worst at being the best at the worst.
He's the best goddamn heel in wrestling. He is the best. Him and Jay White are the best at getting fucking heat. And I mean real
But Vince is looking at him, I was like, I need him.
I mean, just too bad MJF. MJF would not fit in WWE.
No.
But just that line that he said, talking about people in mothers' basements.
Yo. Oh, God.
That basement that your mother has?
Yeah. Your mother, about your mother whose basement you live in, she swallows.
It's like the crowd. It's like, God damn. He just ripped into everybody. And it was so goddamn good.
A 65-year-old who never grew out of his emo phase.
Seabiscuit. Yeah. And a boy and his pet dinosaur or something like that, or whatever the fuck it was. Good grief, Jesus. MJF. And then you get MJF versus Hangman Page versus Jungle Boy, Luchasaurus with Jungle Boy, and versus Jimmy Havoc. And fucking Christ, MJF just being the goddamn star of this.
Yes, he was.
I mean, good lord. This was so goddamn good. This was actually much more well-paced than other, multi-person matches that they did later.
Yeah.
And even earlier. I did Jimmy Havoc when he actually wants to, and we met Jimmy Havoc. Really nice guy. When he wants to wrestle, not do deathmatch stuff, he actually can wrestle. He's actually pretty good at it. It's pretty sad and Jungle Boy did pretty good too. It was good stuff. Hangman Page ends up winning with the Deadeye that used to be the Rite of Passage. 1, 2, 3. And that was cool.
Yeah.
It's good stuff. I really enjoyed it. And then we get Cody and Darby Allin. Aubrey is the ref. It's not like Aubrey's refed any of Darby's matches.
Only almost all of them in the Washington.
That we've seen. In the Washington.
In the Washington, yes.
In the Washington. The crowd was split.
Yeah.
They were split.
Initially, it was pulling more towards Cody Rhodes because he's the more popular name.
Yeah.
Which is to be expected. But by the end of it, it switched. People were cheering for Darby. We met and talked to Darby a couple times. Oh, yeah.
Really nice guy.
Yeah.
Him and Priscilla are perfect for each other. They're both super nice. If you get a chance to meet them, please do so. It was cool at one point where Darby, slammed Cody's hand into the, left hand into the post. Fortunately, Cody is a right-hander, so Brandy will be kept happy. And moving on from that, coffin drop on the apron.
Oh, God.
Ouch.
The crowd just blew up like, holy.
I mean, and of course, as we know about the apron.
It is the hardest part of the ring, as commentary makes sure to let us know on that one fall.
They did. That
one fall!
It would have been his last fall from the way that looked. That looked deadly. Darby brought out a body bag during his entrance. That got used in there where...
Against Darby.
He got put in the body bag. Cody hit the disaster kick and then took him out of the body bag. Because JR even said, how are you going to be able to tell if his shoulders are down?
Exactly.
And nobody could beat the other. Time limit draw. Some people shit on this. I didn't. I'll tell you why. It shows that Cody, the veteran that he is, couldn't beat Darby, and Darby could hang with him.
Yeah.
And it's a good way to tell it.
Well, don't tell Darby that. He might actually do that.
Yeah, he would do that.
No, Darby is a spectacular talent. I wish it showcased more of his ability.
Yeah. But
the best is yet to come. If you haven't seen a Darby Allin match, either in person or on recording, just look him up.
Look up what he did without a cause.
Look up what he did at Defy. Look up what he did in a match, I think he had a match against Cassius Ohno. I think he's had a match against Trevor Lee.
Yeah.
He's done quite a bit. But yeah.
And then we get Cody out there, you know, Cody, everything, all that. So Sean Spears comes out, the former Ty Dillinger, Mr. 10, and he hits.
He delivered
Cody.
a spear himself with a chair to the head of Cody Rhodes.
Wait, how does that work?
Yeah. So the thing is about the whole gash, and I don't know if I saw it wrong, but so there ended up being a gash back here, or he was bleeding back here.
Yeah.
But he was hit right here.
So unless the chair somehow lipped around and we didn't see it, how did that happen?
So I'm thinking it was a blood pack, but still, that was a huge chair shot to the head.
I will say this. I mean, maybe it was something quick and we didn't see it. It looked odd. But boy, that was a lot of blood.
But I hope he is okay.
Yeah, no chair shots to the head, please.
Yeah, we don't need that situation again.
I understand that they want to be non-PG, but I don't even like seeing New Japan.
I think MJF well established that. He also came down to the ring to help Cody because they have a working relationship where Cody's like the only person I think MJF respects.
Yeah, MJF and SCU, by the way.
Yeah.
And that was something. So, sold it like crazy, it went on forever, and then we get the Bucks and Omega. We get the Bucks first off coming out.
First it was the Laredo Kid and the Lucha Bros. They came out, masks
and all that, which is cool.
And then, God damn it, the Young Bucks came out as Ryu and Ken. And then there was a spot where a guy who looked like he was a fan ran up to the ramp.
And was doing
the thing, and then suddenly they had all the Japanese katakana appear. And I knew it was going to be an Akuma thing, but I didn't know who it was going to be. But of course it would have been Kenny Omega.
Of course it would have been.
You goddamn nerd, I love it. And I pointed this out. I think this video game started as a rib towards Jim Cornette.
It has to be.
Because Jim Cornette, he loves that video game wrestling.
Oh God, he does. I can't wait to hear his review of this.
Yeah, you could tell who I predicted would win for this, but...
You can't tell who I rooted for during the whole show.
It's a different match. You missed your chance, man.
I know.
But anyway. This was a fantastic match.
It was.
Yeah.
All the flippy shit.
His notes are all the flippy shit.
More
flippy shit. Near falls, Phoenix dives.
And a Juan Wing Angel.
Yeah.
The Pin Laredo Kid. This match really was a lot of near falls and a lot of super kicks and a lot of whole bunches of... It was what you would expect from a Bucks Omega Lucha Bros match.
That is something AEW will need to restrain themselves on. You can't have too many near falls.
Yeah.
It loses its spark with overexposure. When you're at a house show, that shit's fine.
Right.
But when you're on broadcast TV, you don't want people sitting at home who are not sucked into the moment like the people who are there live are. Looking at going, near fall, near fall, near fall,
and
near fall.
We've even done that sometimes at a couple indie shows.
Yeah.
And it's not knocking. They're tougher than I am.
Yeah, you just gotta be careful about that. That's one of those things that overexposure is a bad thing.
I mean, Laredo Kid, for the first time seeing him wrestle, it was impressive. Nice show of respect at the end, they all leave. And then the show's supposed to be over because this is an unsanctioned match.
Which is why, after the lights come back on, we still have all the production value and the intro music and the production crew is doing the work. But it's completely unrelated to AEW because they don't back this at all.
None. They don't back any of this. It was
Which is why all the cameramen were there.
Tripping over their own goddamn feet.
And that came later.
Yes, Jon Moxley versus Joey Janela.
Yeah.
I do not get the appeal of Joey Janela. I don't hate the guy at all.
This match...
Ouch.
Yeah, this match should not have been at the end.
This match, I kind of get why it was because of all the shit that needed to be cleaned up. Yeah. But you did have the "you sick fuck" chants because of all the barbed wire.
AEW doesn't need to worry about that. It's not their responsibility because they're not involved in this at all.
Right, unsanctioned, nothing. They got nothing to do with it. That's why they found all that.
It wasn't unsanctioned, it was non-sanctioned.
Non-sanctioned.
Unsanctioned means it was sanctioned to begin with and they didn't make sure it was not sanctioned.
Right. What?
What?
No. So, tables, barbed wire chair. Ow.
Yeah, barbed wire tables. Ow.
More tables.
Ow.
Yes, an elbow off the table, or through the table, off the ladder.
Yep.
Barbed wire boards. The tax.
Oh dear God, the tax. Moxley removing Janela's shoes.
And socks.
And socks.
The bare feet.
Yep.
On the tax.
Just the bare necessity tax. Ow. Ow.
And ow. And then you get like
necessitax.
I think it's called. I think they're calling it the paradigm shift. That jumping spike DDT, but they call it the Death Rider, New Japan, so whatever. By the way, Jon Moxley, current IWGP US champion, beat Juice Robinson on the Best Super Juniors finals. So this was something else. Yeah. Death Rider paradigm shift for 3, and then Kenny Omega attacks Jon Moxley, and they brawl for a while.
Yeah.
And then Omega hits him with a garbage can at the end.
Yes.
And
Jon Moxley is smiling.
We called him Dean Ambrose for how goddamn long.
Yeah.
But, see, Vince, that's such good shit.
It's such good shit.
It was, they're gonna have a match, I think, at All Out.
It was blood, but not too much blood.
Right.
It wasn't like a death match.
It wasn't like Dustin bleeding.
Oh, Garrett.
We will be watching...
This is why you don't blade.
Yes. We will be watching Fight for the Fallen, by the way. That is in 2 weeks.
Yes. It's on the 13th.
It's on the 13th.
And then the day after that, I'm going to Without a Cause show. TJP's going to be there.
And I'm going to be watching Extreme Rules at home.
Yeah. Blind Brian Pillman Jr. is going to be there too.
And his glorious blonde mullet.
Yes.
B for the show. B.
Yep.
They had some issues, but it was overall entertaining. I could have given it a higher grade, but I was like, you know what? I can't overlook everything.
I'm going to give it a B as well. As you remember, there's a lot of growing pains with this. You can't let your excitement outweigh the critique of the product. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
There is absolutely no reason not to enjoy this show.
Is it perfect? No.
Unless you really want WWE, which, I mean, what are you even doing here?
Right.
We don't review WWE every week.
Never every week.
But if you enjoyed the show or if you didn't enjoy the show, there is a poll right up here and you can go ahead and vote on the poll. Or you hit like, dislike,
why were you being
subscribe,
leave a comment down below. Why were you being so angry about the poll?
I wasn't, I was being...
Dramatic?
Yes.
Ah, okay.
You know what a dramatic are.
Jesus Christ. And on that note...
This is Real Honest 2 with John Ritlin. I am not John Ritlin. I am the Durbinator. And you have a great night.